Hey everybody, I took a break from my 5 viewers. Okay, so I did take a break, but sometimes it's because Spirit be telling me to be still so it could give me some downloads that's gonna knock my socks off or confirm what I already been knowing and feeling, but just you can get caught up in the world. You really can, what the world be talking about. But I don't like a lot of fantasy. I don't know if it's because of my heavy earth placements in my birth chart, but I can't. I need tangibility for whatever reason. So I'm gonna give y'all a little history so y'all just not tuning into a channel. I had another channel, but that channel was so crazy because I had just really entered a twin flame, or what people call a twin flame union. What I say is a soul flame because it's evolved from what I'm researching and studying. I've been studying this one guy, and what's so crazy, I don't know why I'm so nervous, y'all. I think because I don't like sharing my story no more because it was just such a catastrophe on my last channel. Because I was not aware of what I was about to indulge in. But anyway, the guy that I've been listening to, who is like a guru on twin flame journey, I've seen him. They've been around, him and his twin flame, his wife, they've been around for a long ass time. They can talk about this shit I know since the 80s. However, when I came across the twin flame journey back in the early 2000s, I wasn't interested because it was just too much. I saw it as just too much. I didn't see the benefit of it. I seen it as a hassle because of the runner and chaser dynamic. I just was like, I'm not about to involve myself. This sounds silly, and I left it alone. I just did. So I did some ritual work, right? At this particular time, when I called in my soul flame, now mind you, I always felt like you could have more than one soul flame. And this guru, he solidified it or confirmed that I was correct, that you can. So it's just dependent on the mindset you're in, now that I'm really observing it because I walked it. It really depends on the mindset you're in when you call that energy in. And then he said something that was profound, that the whole experience, the whole twin flame experience is planned, pre-planned to enter a battlefield brought in by the higher self. So we basically know what we're getting into. It's like like a basketball, when the coach say huddle and he draw out the play, so you knew exactly what you was going to be doing. Your higher self knew. Of course, we forget every damn thing once we come out. This 3D is total amnesia time, but it's all in the remembering. So anyway, I've called in people, and this guru, he don't deal in karma at all. He thinks that's a crock of shit from what he says. When people say, well, your twin flame somewhere, they got to clean up their karma or something, I've said it. He thinks that's a crock of shit. It's in the wording for real. He's a magician, this man. He really is, because he don't mind contradicting himself, because he said contradictions show him his growth. Where people try to catch him with his pants down, he see it as an opportunity, to evolve. So who's really unevolved? The person that contradicted themselves, or the person that's looking for the contradiction? You're missing the whole message if you're looking for the contradiction. That's what makes him a magician to me. He just passed away, I think in 2020, something like that. But I've been channeling with him. Oh man, he giving me the game. It's all about evolution. I know it. I fucking knew it. It ain't about nothing else. I was getting lost in the romanticism of the soul flame journey, even though going in, I was rooted in the knowledge that it was about the evolutionary process. Period. That's why I didn't want to touch it, because it looked like a hassle. So if you're busy running and I'm busy chasing and I'm a person that needs shit in the flesh because of how I'm set up this lifetime, we're not about to, so in the midst of, so I gotta deal with, keep on like a mouse chasing cheese but never catch it. Fuck, man, no. That sounds kind of crazy. And it sounds like self-torment to me. That's why I never touched it. However, I feel like we moving in a day and time where you don't have a choice but to touch it. He said something so fucking profound. He said the evolutionary process moves in reverse and it moves forward. You know, it's not a one-size-fit-all type of thing. It's really not. However, I feel like it's moving back now to people moving towards commitment, because to be non-committal, the complexities that come with non-commitment, it's like now you have, like the guy that I called in, my divine mate. When I called him in, and I done lost all train of thought, because that just make me tired. It makes me fucking tired. And then he said, hold on, girl, because I just lost my train of thought. Girl, no, that don't make no damn sense. Twin flames are both exceptional healers. When you romanticize the twin flame journey, to me, it just makes it appear or be less painful, you know, because sometimes it is painful, but a lot of the pain be because of the resistance and because of where you're feeling them. Most of the pain is on a mental and emotional level, you know. It really is. Anyway, I used the 369 Tesla method to call in my person. At the time, I was single with a dollar bill. I've called in other people, but it's my mindset. At that time, during that time, I was strictly business. I was literally, I put a jingle on the back of a business card, and I set up this Tesla 369 ritual. And I said that I wanted a business partner, something. I would be so happy because he'll be here when spring is near, or some shit. I don't know, y'all. I was in a straight up fairy business, logical, no nonsense, knock it out the ballpark this time state of mind. Get to the shit, cut to the chase. But at the same time, I wasn't thinking that it was going to materialize as fast as it did. I low-key was like, now chill and fall back for a year. This is what my human mind says. I did that shit. That shit was not a year. It couldn't have been. It's like I did it, and he was there in the spring, in May. What makes it weird is I had another soul flame that I was with prior to calling him in. And I told him, this is dangerous. Me and you, this is dangerous. We shouldn't do this. I said, the more we connect, the worse it's going to get. I don't know if he was just a risk taker or he didn't care. He was over. It was a whole ass situation. That was a catastrophe. I got the pain from that one, and then I didn't ever think I would find nobody again because I wasn't in a twin flame state of mind. I wasn't even in a soulmate, high level soulmate state of mind. I was just in meeting somebody, and I would do synchronicities. So if anything is synchronized, then I would know that, you know, this is already pre-planned. However, you don't have to go along with everything that's in the plan. You know what I'm saying? You can make adjustments. He just didn't want to make the adjustment, and he wanted to test the waters. And we both fucking drowned. in the deep. You hear me? It was terrible. But it helped with so much other shit. It helped with so much other shit. And he was saying to have respect for the gift of the soul flame or twin flame union. Be very mindful of what you say relative to the soul flame union. It is the evolutionary process of relationships collectively. So that shouldn't just change my whole. I always had a sense of reverence, even for the relationship that I was in prior to calling in another one. And I didn't think I thought that was it. I didn't see myself. You know what I'm saying? So that situation died when my mom died. So that was in 2017. And I really feel like 2017 is the year that the reverse of the evolution has started, where people are going to be moving back towards non-committal, but in a more mature, fun, real love kind of way, and not attachment based off fear that you won't get nobody else. I had a little bit of that going on because I'm black. That's another angle. He dealt with all races, but he doesn't know everything. That's the beauty in him, because he understood the evolution. It's a whole different dynamic going on within the black community when it comes to witchcraft and spell work and people punishing you for basically walking out what was already predestined, already pre-planned. You know what I'm saying? If somebody wants to not walk that road, then all somebody has to do is say that they don't want to. And it'll cut off that run and chaser bullshit. With the first soul flame I had, he told me it's over with. There's too many problems, and I don't like problems. And he left it like that. That cut the cord immediately. I went about my life. I'm a Virgo. He was a Virgo. So he goddamn well went on here with his life. But it's still respect there. If I seen him today, we'd slap eyes and laugh. It wouldn't be Google eyes and let's go get a blanket and have a picnic. I called in something different because I had evolved from descending so low from that fucking soul flame union. I mean, crazy. So it was a certain body part on him that I liked. Nothing, I mean, it's not nothing where you wouldn't be able to show people this body part. I just knew I wasn't going to get anything close to. The person that I called in, like it said, soul flames, twins are one body. Many bodies, one soul. Many bodies, one soul. That's what it is. That's why you can have multiple soul flames. Yeah. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. Yeah, that's what it is. One soul, many bodies. So anyway, he looked like him. Not exactly, but I mean, the remnants was there. And I was like, oh, fucking shit. This is it. And I told him, too. I said, you not him. I told him that day. I told him everything that day. I gave him the fucking rule book. I know he said, this is going to be the dingiest girl I ever met in my life. But he didn't know what I had done. And his thing was, picked game though. His thing was, everybody says I'm their soulmate. Everybody talks the shit you're talking. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, everybody talking this shit, but I know them motherfuckers ain't do that Tesla 369 ritual, baby. That's me. I ain't say shit to him. I just listen. I'm an occultist. That's what I started off as. People might shoot me for saying this, but it's true. The Nation of Islam ain't nothing but the occult. It's an occult science. I got my hand split in that. For those that didn't know, I was in the Nation of Islam. I was active. I'm inactive now. So I be looking at shit logically. The romanticism. Oh boy. All this Earth, all this Virgo I got in my chart on top of coming out of the nation. It's like a female Malcolm Little, now Malcolm X. Looking at a twin feline union romantically. No. Not at all. So I was like, look, I can't. Because even with tarot, you're going to keep getting, we're not about to do this. It got to be some evolution happening on this channel. Because this is really, tarot is involved, but it's really magic at the end of the day, which is really evolution to me. So listen, y'all. I put channeling with this beautiful man. In 2022, the soul flame journey is totally relative to the evolutionary process of man. This precipice began in 2017 from my spiritual vantage point or timeline. Okay? So to me, that's, even though I'm saying it's an evolutionary process of man, it's just going in reverse. You're going to see people settling down with one person because at the end of the day, it's about you. You just want the comfort of not being annoyed by the person that you choose to have companionship with when you want it, basically. Somebody you like at the end of the day. And they could very much be your soul flame or twin flame. Does not matter. You know, he was talking about men. Man, he went in. He said men that he talked to that was in the twin flame journey. He said this 3 years ago that men they're not going to be committing to you. They're not. Because if you go in some of y'all groups, this is what he said. If you go in some of them twin flame groups on Facebook, where y'all be at, bashing men, dogging them about this twin flame journey. And a lot of them this is what he said, y'all. A lot of them be married. And they not about to risk having to come out of what they know they going to have to come out of, because it's all about the Benjamins, baby. And his children involved. To come be with your nag and romanticize and want to have it your way like Burger King here, that's basically, no, that's not going to happen. So he said, they said they didn't like the way they felt like they was losing control. They felt overwhelmed. Even though all of those things is a process of an awakening, which is scary as fuck. You know, to go through an awakening alone, you got to be a strong ass person. People like me that are of aid and of service to people that are going through awakenings, go. I had none. I had to bust my head. I'm talking about on so much concrete and learn all along the way just to be able to give it away. Once I get to the point where I have a smidgen of understanding of what the fuck is going on. The evolution, he said they not because they felt overwhelmed. And he said that they said they was going to stay with who they was with. So who people would say is a karmic. Think over that. And they got that choice. Now it's doing something different. A lot of these divine masculines don't want to let go. You can feel them in your energy field. The divine femme is ready to move on. She's being more optimistic when it comes to love for whatever reason. And then you got another set of women that it's kind of all about the Benjamins too. You get what you pay for type of situation. So, they'll witchcraft you half to death, try to kill you about that coin. Because that's ultimately what it's about. It's not about helping the evolutionary process of man. Because you're putting somebody in reverse when it's not time for them to be. It's a time for that. That's why you had that time to be married to that individual and do whatever it is that you were supposed to do. That's how I see it. That's why I don't get into binding spells. I don't have time to get in God's way. Reverse, no. We want to go this way. Just let go. However, a lot of these divine masculines may be researching a little bit because they're sick of hearing it, that they are this person's soulmate or whatever the case may be. So it's really showing a form of self-worth, self-value. You're just not going to tell me any fucking thing because they may keep buying fucking wood nickels. Or, you know what I'm saying, just being something too long where no growth is taking place. No evolution is happening. And no commitment because they be cheating any motherfucking way. Most of them. Not all, but most. Like he said, take the sex away, you no longer have a twin flame. They're going to stay with where it's, they feel like they have some sense of control. And ultimately, the control is over their livelihood. If she going to clean them, take them to the bank, coming with another soul flame, basically. Is you worth it? Can we rebuild this? What is it? What's in it for me? Because if you can't show me nothing different but blabbing off of the mouth just like she doing, you just doing it in a way because I ain't over there. Men got a hell of a vantage point right now. But what it's teaching women, especially women that are more evolved than their twin or their soul flame. Okay, I'm going to read this so then I don't have to come back to it. Separations are now intended for self-growth. Resistance to the reality of separation via romanticism only creates the stage for deeper integration. I'm going to read that again. Separations are now intended for self-growth. Resistance to the reality of separation via romanticism only creates the stage for deeper integration. You're going to have to face it either way, male or female. Whatever you into. That shit still be sitting there. Whatever it is that you're not dealing with. Because you don't want to. You don't want to grow, basically. You want to keep some measure of what you think is control. But who really has that? If one of the soul flames is in a 3D union, their experience is worse, but now matches or mirrors the soul that was more evolved in this lifetime. So y'all basically both learning lessons just in different forms. Theirs becomes worse because they're actually somewhere where they know they don't want to be. They just don't have the courage to lose it all and go towards growth or soul expansion. You are a little bit more evolved, so it's almost like you having to reverse yourself. That's why so many women just want to cut the cords and be moving on. I feel like a lot of the divine masculines are afraid of the awakening that they're having. And you're pretty much the only person that makes sense. So it's kind of like a fuck that situation. But not really, because it's all for the evolutionary process and it's intended for self-growth. Romanticism to me ain't nothing but mind fuckery, or you trying to control it to where it don't drive you crazy because you think you realizing, which is really fear-based, that you're not going to get any more love ever. You're not going to get any more money ever again. Okay? It's just overkill. Who said that? Who told you that? You know what I'm saying? You lying to yourself for real. Just say you scared. You don't know what the fuck is going on. What is this? I ain't never felt this before. It's an awakening because more than likely, one of the twin flames is in a deep sleep state. I tell my twin all the time, soul flame, whatever you want to call them, wake up. That's all I need you to do is wake up. Once you wake up, you'll realize what you're fucking doing. You're putting me in reverse because your energy won't move. It won't let up. Even when I don't resist it. When I don't resist it, I'll go back and forth. I'm a scientist. Okay, let me resist it now. Still. Because to resist is to persist. So when I let it be and let him persistently be in my energetic field, it just binds us deeper, closer. So where can you really go? So that to me as a scientist, from an observational standpoint, that would say to me this would be my last soul flame. But I guess so. I'm fucking 43. So that shows me the amount of growth, but I was way ahead of him. But as far as my spiritual journey, he money man, businessman. Me, spiritual. You said what? What's your saying? Everywhere. Well, he had to tell me to knock it off. However, it works because it was already mapped out. It's not as difficult as people make it out to be. It's really, if you look at it logically, if you look at a soul flame union logically, it won't hurt as bad. It's when you overly romanticize it and you don't get what you're overly romanticizing tangibly, it ends up putting you into a deeper state of integration, which is cool because you'll end up growing regardless. It's just you're making it more painful for yourself, basically. Yeah. Okay, here it is right here. Yeah, so you end up matching each other. That's the point I wanted to make too. You end up matching each other where most people say, well, you way more, girl, you're going to have to wait for him. Or you're going to have to, you was way more evolved than they was. No. Do you eat chicken? Are you a vegan? I mean, what you like? It's all about being normal. Once you make union on the 3D, the whole goal is to help in the evolutionary process of man, which means help to move this shit along so we don't fucking die and crack off into the fucking Atlantic Ocean when you really know the history of, or your demographics, should I put it like that, and what's going on. It don't take a rocket scientist. I don't gotta fly nowhere to know something ain't right, just based off of looking at what they're saying is happening and showing me it's happening, and it's people they're saying it's happening. Shit, you can just tap on New Orleans with Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. You can tap on all the earthquakes going on in California. You can tap in what's going on in the Ukraine and Russia right now. Everything matters. So, like he said, it's a crock of shit to think you just, everything will be okay and everything's going to turn out fine. Yeah, it's easy to say that shit when you ain't putting in no work to integrate or to get out of romanticy land. Romanticy. Yeah, that's the land now. Romanticy land. Wake up. What you want to do, son? Got shit to do, son. Just for all 12 zodiacs that I mentioned. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're still here after 29 minutes of me rattling off about this soul flame journey. But when I tell you my Ganesha moonshot, I see it. Man, Mazel tov. You hear me? Because I've been looking and searching for so long. I had listened to this man before, but I was not interested in shit he was talking about because he be saying crock of shit all the time. And I was saying at that time, it's a crock of shit. I'm not about to set myself up for no shit like that. But if it's in the playbook, it's in the playbook. And I wasn't looking at nobody as no twin flame. No, I call people my soulmate. I call anybody that. What? Shit. I didn't get caught up. I just didn't. Every experience being lived out by the one soul in many bodies, the lesson is being seen and learned that you should have been further along in your soul's evolution. How much you didn't value yourself, how codependent you really are, where your childhood affected your growth, how distractions keep you from facing fears and growing. It's all about evolution now. What it always was about, but a large measure of free will was given to mankind. That large measure of free will isn't available to those unwilling to evolve. This journey is about a soul's ability to be, he said this journey is, and I agree, because I've been saying this. He just kept on confirming and kept on confirming. So it's about the soul's ability to be more authentic, or be authentic, gentle, feeling from the heart space, development of empathy and character, compassion, all the good shit that you want, but you're not because you refuse to grow and evolve. Men go through all of that. Oh my God, I'm losing control. Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so overwhelming. Oh my God, I've never felt happy like this before. Okay, feel it. Feel it. It's cool. Ain't nobody here to dupe you. It's just an experience with whoever you were with. And whatever happened in your childhood. That's the whole point. Let it go. It don't exist no more. It's just in your pain body, which Eckhart Tolle talks about. The pain body, which is the mental and the emotional bodies, period. Okay. These are the observations that I've had about the twin flame or soul flame journey, and then I'm going to get up off of here, and I may come back on and do some basic tarot for the general public. Twins are both exceptional healers. The whole experience is planned, pre-planned to enter a battlefield brought in by the higher self. Now, this is me and him together because he wasn't doing shit but confirming everything that I already was seeing. It's about cleansing. It's about purging. Romanticism makes it less painful. That was my observation. The overthinking wasn't being experienced by the other person. Okay, he said that somebody said that they couldn't get this person off their mind. They couldn't get them off their mind. Oh my God, I can't get them off my mind. This is my twin. This is my soul. So he said, give me their number. They probably got blocked. He said, give me their number. They give him the number. He called the soul flame, twin flame. Yeah. She said she can't get you off her mind. Are you having those same experiences? They said no. They said no. But my thing was, and he agreed, what if they were lying? He felt that I picked that up. When he said that, he felt that I picked that shit up. I'm like, they be lying because they feel like, what if it was that damn easy? And that's what the soul flame, the other soul flame, if it was that damn easy, he was trying to, and he was like, well, why don't you just want to call them? And then they said the reason they didn't call, not because they were blocked, is because they didn't want to lose them. They didn't want to hear that they weren't feeling the same thing or the same way. But sometimes that be bullshit. That be fear. Of course they go. How many of the movies do you see where people be like, you love her? No, man. Look at Love Jones. Oh, God. How many lies did he tell? Till he finally woke up to the realization that he had something real. Which they were around my age. Maybe in their 30s. However, you're not about to keep on. Yeah, I think you get multiple soul flames, but you don't get a lot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you can't get up to 5. I ain't saying that. It just depends on how long you had it in your pre-planned playbook. What age did you start? You know? Who was the first one? How did it progress? Where were you at when you called this energy in? What was your mindset? You know? What mindset can you live with? However, whatever. I look at life like basketball, 4 quarters. Whatever quarter you're in, that gives you your answer on whether your I mean, you can call in somebody else, basically. But it all depends on you and your mindset. Period. That's why to come into union, there has to be a mirroring. It has to be a growth. And it has nothing to do with when you were awakened or how far along you're on your journey comparative to this person. Because guess what? Once you come together in the 3D, you just like every other fucking couple you see at a concert or at fucking Red Lobster or Arby's. They don't know what the fuck just happened. They don't know this person won't stop talking to you, mental telepathy, and you projecting themselves in your house and trying to meet with you on Friday to have sexual relations. They don't know that. They there eating their cheddar bay biscuits just like y'all's asses. It ain't like that. It's my point. You just everyday people that understand you have a purpose, and that's to help the people that's sitting in Red Lobster with you have an earth to live on, or grandchildren, great grandchildren, etc., etc. If you're a part of this journey, it said right here, twins are both exceptional healers. It's like work. Shit. Even the person, if they win a quote unquote, what y'all like to call karmics, I'm a good actress. Let's just say that. What y'all like to call karmics, okay, well, they still got to deal with somebody's shit. It's just whose shit would you rather deal with? And is it worth the money? That's what we're dealing with right now. Who has this longer vision? Who has a sustainable idea? Because inflation is happening. You're not just about to, you know what I'm saying, stay with a motherfucker because you've been with a motherfucker. No, not right now. Not 2022. People looking at their playbook, seeing what's the better choice. Some people went years crying about having a baby. Now they're realizing, shit, I'm so happy. I couldn't believe it. What I'll do with a baby, you know? That's evolution. Sometimes in reverse, sometimes forward. Depends on your timeline. Depends on your experience. It's definitely soul level. That's why I was calling it soul flame. And he kept saying that. It's a soul to soul connection. It's about soul evolution, cleansing, purging. Someone is in a deep sleep state. There's so many different levels to awakening, you know? I could have went through 13 years of a terrible awakening, but the wisdom that I obtained, if I'm sharing that on this channel, whether my soul flame is watching or not, or I've shared with him during the time that we did make connection, the seed has been planted. God gives the increase ultimately in himself because he has to ultimately do the work. He talks about sending energy. He thinks that's total bullshit. I don't, but that's part of the evolution. He wouldn't be like, I said, no. He would say, well, why do you suppose that? What happened? Let's look into it. You know, that's keeping an open mind. That's agreeing to disagree, but then ends up where it all shows it's towards the evolution. So who give a fuck at the end of the day? I feel like you can hold space. I feel like you can make it less painful. His thing was, which I thought was fucking awesome, he was like, okay, this is a crock of shit. You're going to send healing energy to your soul, to your twin flame. Okay, for what? You know, are you looking to get something from it? Okay, I did this for you, so now we have to make union. And I was like, that's real talk. Because you'll get in that mindset. That's bullshit. I feel like if you can make something easier for someone that you say that you love and have all this respect and admiration and taking you through this and you just don't understand. Just do it out of the kindness of your heart. Whether you make union or not, you're making somebody else's life less painful. They already in pain body, especially if you're more evolved. You know that. So how evolved are you, or how much more growth do you need to just be kind for the sake of being kind without getting anything in return? You see, changes the dynamic, don't it? That's why I don't call. I call when I say call in a soulmate. That means call in who, like I did the Tesla 369 and called in mine. Now, can you possibly keep getting the same one? Because like I said, he said, one soul in many bodies. My readings that I get on a personal level, my reader keeps telling me a Sagittarius. Who I'm gridlocked with for real, energetically, isn't that sign. However, his energy has always came up as the King of Wands. I know it be him when it come through my card. Sometimes it ain't his energy at all. It's another sign. It's a King of Pentacles. Sometimes it ain't a King of Pentacles. It's a Pisces energy. You know, sometimes it ain't that. Seldom is it air. A King of Air energy. With him in particular. However, I don't know all the dynamics of his birth chart. You can have all that in his birth chart and operate out of many bodies and come up as those energies. And I would be looking for a fucking Sagittarius. And it'll always be his energy. Just coming up and, because this is the end of the road for me. Shit. So then I gotta worry about getting witchcraft after that. Because he's a popular guy. And what am I supposed to do? I just called in energy. I did not know that man from a man on the moon, okay? And I think I sent him a request on Facebook. I don't remember who sent who what. I do know we were friends for like 2 years, but I didn't pay him no attention. Shit, I went to his page. I was like, oh, he cute, and like got up off that bitch. He made a post one day. I replied on the post. I haven't ever replied on any of his posts for 2 years. I may have liked, may have laughed, may have not touched it. I don't even fucking remember. But he wasn't on my radar at all. I just called in energy. And the synchronicities is crazy. The time travels I've had to do, crazy. The karma that I've had to clear up, insanity. Insanity. Worse than who I have a child by. And I thought it couldn't get no worse than that cleanup. And that growth. And that evolution of myself. Oh, baby, the growing pains. This here trip, oh, the growing pains. And I'm getting witchcrafted. I didn't have to deal with that shit when I was dealing with my child's father. And he had plenty suitors, okay? And I did not have to deal with what I'm dealing with now. That's how you know. The warfare gets crazier. It's just, it's a vibe. Let's just say that. It's a vibe, okay? There's levels to evolution, intuition, empathy, and telepathy. You can send your soul flame healing energy and provide a safe space if you have the tools that help make the journey less painful for you. Why not? And when I say the journey, I'm not just talking about the twin flame journey. I'm talking about your spiritual journey. I'm talking about your awakening. Some of us really went through a spiritual awakening. Mine happened 20 plus years ago. Some people's happened a year ago. You know, but if you have tools and you meet somebody, because twin flames cause towers. When you meet, it's going to be a tower moment because it's going to be an awakening happening. If you a year along, that person don't never know what the fuck is going on. You know, you got some tools that they don't have. So help them out. Why wouldn't you? And don't expect nothing in return. Just hold the space. That's all you got to do. That's what I create all of my candles and stuff for real. It's healing work and to just make life less stressful and to cut right to the chase and to help to make transmutation less painful because I did it without none of this that I got. I had to go through it in order to even create something to this magnitude. And when I tell you, I don't even want to remember it. Fuck that shit. It's like war veteran status. Not their current mate is a small piece to the puzzle. If you're not black on some real, I'm being so real right now. If you're not black, don't even worry about it. They made it so insignificant. And why I say that is because other races, maybe Puerto Ricans, may have a measure of, my stomach's talking about, may have a measure of witchcraft, where they'll witchcraft you about their man. There's certain cultures that have it, don't get me wrong, but those that I'm feeling like it ain't all like that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got to worry about it like you have to worry about it, you know? I may have to worry about it, but not like you have to worry about it, okay? Because it's fear there. Fear that you're going to lose housing. Fear that you're going to lose love that's really not love. Fear, it's an attachment issue. It's fear-based. You have to look at the twin flame, soul flame journey logically. You really do. Other than that, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Soul flames ultimately make union to act as healers and influencers to the evolutionary process of man. I'm going to read that again. Soul flames ultimately make union to act as healers and influencers to the evolutionary process of man. Have respect for the game. Okay, I read that. You have multiple soul flames. Okay, we know that. I dealt with that. All right, that's it. That's it. Prayerfully, this helps somebody within the 12 zodiacs. Prayerfully, y'all watch this video. Somebody will come across it one day, even if nobody watches it now. Even if somebody is watching it while I'm recording, you know? Because I always feel like somebody watching me. This was deep. I'm glad I got this out. Because I was like, Spirit, I do not want to share my story. I really don't. It was just a terrible experience. And I just want to move forward. I don't want to listen, it didn't exist in my life. Nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I never said that. That's where I'm at with it. I'm just pulling out the jewels and the fundamentals and what I'm understanding because I need to understand. You know, I don't like feeling tormented or bound. I don't like that. You know? However, I did do the work. I did the ritual work on it. So what I get is what I get. You gotta try to understand it. And then what I get gonna end up helping somebody else. That's the whole point of going through this shit. Is it pretty? No. Just like my stomach growling ain't. But it's just showing my humanity too, you know? We are here to learn and grow and to understand. I just was not going to keep going through this with these tarot cards and the romanticizing and going in a circle and not making any progress. So when that happens, I tend to pull back and not post anything. And then I'll get downloads to take us a little bit further. Nothing major. Well, prayerfully this helps somebody, and prayerfully I'll be back on here later on to post a video for whatever sign we roll on these esoteric dice. Prayerfully this helps somebody. Prayerfully I didn't tell too much or get, too crazy with my personal business. I just want to let y'all know that I done been walking this thing and I'm seeing that it's some more stuff I see, but I had to stop. I said, let's stop because that video will be going 2 hours. I'll be sitting there lecturing and lecturing. It's definitely about the evolutionary process. Definitely not about being able to post your pictures on social media. Definitely not about that. No. Oh, no. Not the soul flame journey. He agreed with me. Yeah, so, because it's a soul-to-soul connection. Man, I was feeling that shit, how I've been feeling this shit. Man, listen, with this particular soul flame, this motherfucker I'm in separation with, We've been slaves together. We've been, and that's the thing too, because he was saying, he was kind of, I got to look at it because he got an ancestral one that he going to do. So I ain't going to say that that's just what he was for because he's a magician. You know what I'm saying? I already know he going to have something. He going to know something. If not, he teachable, basically. He knowledgeable about it. But when it comes to different races, like black people, people that are darker, shit, it don't even matter. Because I've said before that I really feel like if you was born black initially, just say your first time at the rodeo, touching down on earth. If you were black, you can be whoever. So yeah, you can come the next life as a white guy. That's what me. If your origin was black, first time out the gate, then you can come in whatever form. That's what I feel. Alright, y'all. And people be like, how they singing like that and they white? I be saying because they wasn't always white. They got soul. They super bad. Alright, y'all. Love and light. If you feeling the vibe, like, share, and subscribe. Love and light.